And we're back. Rush Limbaugh serving humanity, executing assigned host duties flawlessly, zero mistakes so far. Do you know, folks, there's actually a debate going on ESPN and throughout the sports world over who can use the N-word, when and how, and who can't, when and how. And no, and this is just part of the whole thing of turning me off about to football and sports in general. And the first place you've had this generation of journalists from the coddled generation. I think some players too. We're getting to the point now where people covering sports and playing in it have come from this coddled generation where nobody's ever supposed to say anything mean, nobody's ever supposed to do anything mean, nobody's ever supposed to disrespect them. We're all supposed to get together with Conflict Resolution 101. There's some NFL player for the Redskins the other day or last night after the game was talking about how mean the ref was, calling him names and so forth. Got Jonathan Martin of the Dolphins now with post-traumatic stress disorder over hazing and so forth, what's been going on. And I'm not defending any of this because I don't know what happened. But the nature of the complaints, and the all-out attack, and I don't think this is even arguable. There is an attack on masculinity that's been going on in our culture since the advent of the modern era of feminism, the late 60s, early 70s. And it's just... They're trying to take the actual realities of life and the way people are out of trying to sanitize everything, and you can't. And now we're getting into this televised discussion of who can and who can't use the N-word and how. And let me just give you 3 examples of this. And frankly, this is I couldn't. This is just reprehensible to me. Call me a fuddy-duddy if you want, but I don't want to have... I will not sit around and watch this kind of stuff. I'm not going to get caught up in it, and I'm certainly not going to weigh and have an opinion on it. First, TNT, inside the NBA. The anchor Ernie Johnson speaking with Charles Barkley about Los Angeles Clippers forward Matt Barnes having to apologize after he was fined for using the N-word in a tweet after he was ejected from a game Wednesday night. Ernie Johnson says, Charles, what do you want to get off your chest about this?
I'm a black man. I use the N-word. I'm going to continue to use the N-word with my black friends, with my white friends. They are my friends. What I do with my black friends is not up to white America to dictate to me what's appropriate and inappropriate. What we say in the locker room, the language we use, sometimes it's homophobic, sometimes it's sexist, and a lot of times it's racist. White America don't get to dictate how me and Shaq talk to each other. And they have been trying to infiltrate themselves saying, well, you guys use it. It's in rap music. No. That's not the same.
Of course it's not the same. But Chuck, and I can call you Chuck because I know you. That's what his friends call Chuck. It's not white America trying to insinuate themselves into what you can and can't say. It's your good buddies on the left who are doing this. It's your good buddy liberal Democrats who are trying to force you to speak the way they think you should. Not white America. It's white liberals who in their own minds still run their own versions of plantations. They're the ones trying to force all this political correctness on you. They're the one trying to take your locker room away from you. They're the one trying to take the basketball court away from you. They're the ones trying to take you away from you. It isn't white America. Well, what a crock. I mean, this isn't a televised basketball game to sit here and listen to this. So then they went out and they found Shaq. TNT inside the NBA during a discussion about Matt Barnes of the Clippers having to apologize after he was fined for using the N-word in a tweet. after he was ejected from a game Wednesday night, after Barkley says that as a black man, he's going to use the N-word and he's going to continue to use the N-word, and white America can't stop him, and it doesn't matter what's in hip-hop music. Shaquille O'Neal then had this to say.
Chuck makes a good point. In the Ebonic culture, we have programmed ourselves to use the word positive. We have G14 classification to say it to each other, but when we say it to each other, believe it or not, it's in the positive sense.
There you go. G14 classification. G14 classification. So when the brothers use it, when the brothers are talking to each other and using the N-word, do you know it matters whether or not there's an A on the end of it or an ER? If you pronounce it with an ER, that's worse than if you say it with an A. Because if you say it with an A at the end of it, you're talking to a brother in a positive way. And these guys are getting all bent out of shape now that people trying to take their word away from them. After how many years of America being told the word is not allowed? The word is totally prohibited. Now we've got the sports media weighing in saying it is never permissible. That word conjures up the worst aspects of America, and that word is never permissible. And here come the black brothers coming around. Oh, yes, it is. When we say it, we're going to say it, and you white Americans, you can't take it away from Chuck, Shaq, it isn't white Americans trying to force their way of thinking on you. It's your buddies on the left. Make no mistake about it. Now, you may think yourself on the left. You may think yourself a Democrat or a liberal or whatever, and if you do, it just means you have no idea who actually is lined up against you. It's not white America. Most of white America, frankly, couldn't care any less about this, other than what it means for the overall cultural decay that may be taking place here. But the political correctness, Chuck, that you're all bummed out here about, and everybody trying to take your word away from you, it's white liberals, Chuck. They're the ones that run peace. There's Michael Wilbon. Now, Michael Wilbon was among the group of people who said, I had no business being in the NFL. Michael Wilbon believed a bunch of made-up quotes attributed to me, things I never said, about blacks and slavery and so forth. And he believed I had no business being in the NFL. None whatsoever. He joined that chorus not knowing what he was talking about because it was politically correct. Now, here's Wilbon. He's on, pardon the interruption, this is Thursday on ESPN. Tony Kornheiser is again after Matt Barkley had to apologize for being thrown out of a game. Well, he used the N-word in a tweet after he was thrown out of a game. Kornheiser said Barnes has apologized via Twitter today. This is what sports has become, by the way. Sports has become this social media claptrap. And I'm telling you, I got just no desire to get involved in this stuff. And this is why. So Kornheiser says to Wilbon, what do you say about the issue of the use of the inflammatory N-word there, Michael?
People can be upset with me if they want. I, like a whole lot of people, use the N-word all day, every day, my whole life. Publicly, I wouldn't do that, but I have no issue with it. I have a problem with, and excuse me here, white people framing the discussion for the use of the N-word. They better not sit there like plantation owners and tell black people how to use a language that was forced on us.
Oh, okay, so now the N-word was forced on you back in the days of slavery, and now it's white people. This is what sports has become. This is what sports media has become. I'm sorry, it loses me. It had nothing to do with what's taking place. Well, I mean, Snerdley's asking me if it isn't remotely entertaining. Of course it's entertaining, but it's full. You know, the left is destroying this country, Mr. Snerdley. They are destroying it. I have a tough time laughing at that. I've been laughing at it for 25 years while they continue to destroy America. And now here's this Wilbon, Chuck Barkley, whatever, white America trying to take the N-word away from them? White America. For how many years have white Americans been scared to death to say anything about anybody? It's white leftists who are trying to take the N-word away from them. The censors and the people on the politically correct side of things are leftists, liberals, or whatever. But here's another one. I'm going to use it all day, every day. I do use it all day, every day. I can use it. You can't stop me. And then, but I don't even. They're destroying the country. They're destroying the culture. They are the American left is just continues to rip this country apart at the seams, or they're trying to. And they've taken over education. They've taken over Hollywood. They've taken over music, and now they're taking over sports. And they're doing it via football and basketball. They're making their move on it, pure and simple. And they're succeeding, as far as I'm concerned. We'll be back.